I desired to interview Bob Dylan. His songs of protest and turmoil spoke to a whole era. While his existence has been the challenge of limitless interpretation, he has been largely silent. What you'll see is pure Dylan, mysterious, elusive, captivating. Bob Dylan, a phenomenon that revolutionized the world of song within the 60s. His songs have become the powerful voice of an era, but his expertise transcended all traditional limitation. Reaching into geographical regions few could consider a musician ought to venture. However, in the back of the glory lies a man of profound contradictions. Bob Dylan confronted harsh complaint from his personal fanatics. His private existence changed into tumultuous wherein love and tragedy intertwined. Remarkably, even as celebrated by using the literary global, he displayed behaviors that left many upset. What genuinely opened up in the life of Bob Dylan? How did a musician transcend the bounds of song to acquire the pinnacle of artistry and literature? Join us in exploring the emotional journey of Bob Dylan, a tale of incredible triumphs paired with deep tragedies. Bob Dylan, born Robert Allen Zimmerman, entered the world on May 24, 1941, inside the small metropolis of Duluth, Minnesota. His own family, two Derek, Jewish immigrants in America, worked to build a solid lifestyles in a society fraught with prejudice. His mother and father, Abram and Beatty Zimmerman, ran a small appliance keep. However, tragedy struck while Abram suffered a coincidence that left him paralyzed. This occasion pressured the own family to relocate to his mother's homeland of Hibbing, wherein Robert spent his youth. In Hibbing, Robert's ardor for music began to take form. He could spend hours being attentive to the radio, tuning into blues and United States of America song stations broadcasting from Shreveport, Louisiana. As he grew into childhood, he became captivated by means of the explosive rock and roll sounds of Elvis Presley and Little Richard. Each music became a gateway to freedom, imparting a glimpse beyond the confines of lifestyles in a small city. Robert did not simply forestall at listening, he turned his passion into movement. While attending Hibbing High School, he formed numerous bands, frequently appearing covers of Little Richard, Elvis Presley, and other rock and roll legends. In one school expertise display, his band executed Danny and the Juniors' Rock and Roll Is Here to Stay. Their tune became so loud and active that the organizers requested they flip off the microphone. In 1959, the Hibbing High School yearbook referred to Robert Zimmerman to sign up for Little Richard. That same year, Robert adopted his first stage call, Elston Gunn, and finished in brief with Bobby V gambling piano and contributing to rhythm sections. These reports had been more than just younger fun. They laid the muse for Dylan's future profession. A pivotal moment got here when Robert determined folk song mainly via the works of Leadbelly, and most significantly, Woody Guthrie. Guthrie changed into more than a musician. He was a poet and social activist whose songs advised deeply emotional testimonies of problem and resistance. Guthrie's lyrics awoke an extra aspiration in Zimmerman to apply music as a medium for storytelling and conveying profound social messages. To mark his transformation, Robert chose to abandon his birth name and end up Bob Dylan. The new name was stimulated no longer simplest via poet Dylan Thomas, but additionally symbolized liberation, breaking free from the ties of his past to forge a completely unique and independent creative identity. Bob, a familiar form of Robert, combined with Dylan, created a name that turned into evocative, poetic, and perfectly suited for a storyteller. From that point on, Bob Dylan's dreams prolonged far past being a rock superstar. He aspired to be more, a messenger, a storyteller through track. The fiery ardor of rock and roll fused with the depth of people track fashioned the artist who could move on to transform each song and famous tradition forever. On January 24, 1961, amidst the cruel, wintry weather of New York City, a younger guy named Bob Dylan arrived with little greater than an antique guitar and a boundless dream. It changed into iciness, Dylan later recalled. The cold changed into brutal and every artery inside the city became protected in snow. I wasn't seeking out money or love. I had a heightened sense of consciousness, familiar with my manner of residing, unrealistic yet far-sighted. Knowing no one in the frozen city, Dylan quick realized that the whole lot become about to trade, and trade rapidly. The social backdrop of the time changed into one in all super upheaval. As America entered the 1960s, the civil rights movement was gaining momentum with fierce struggles for social justice and more powerful voices of dissent. Greenwich Village, in which Dylan sought safe haven, became the epicenter of the folk track motion. A haven for young artists who no longer only sang, however additionally wielded song as a tool for societal transformation. This became an era when every melody and lyric carried, which means a long way past leisure. They have been calls to movement, sparks of awakening. Dylan immersed himself in this ecosystem, performing at small espresso houses, and crossing paths with prominent figures like Pete Seeger and his idol Woody Guthrie. Dylan's view of track as a vehicle for storytelling and social observation, Dylan failed to merely absorb those affects, he transformed them, mixing the intensity of folk track with his personal explosive individuality to create a fashion uniquely his personal. His dating with Joan Baez, the shining megastar of the folk genre, similarly propelled Dylan into the spotlight. Baez not best shared the stage with him, but additionally brought his song to a broader target market, supporting him speedy grow to be a fantastic discern inside the folk movement. Yet, what set Dylan apart became his dedication no longer to stay restrained to small levels or reliant on others' aid. He carved out his personal legacy through his effective songwriting. Bob Dylan released his career with his self-titled debut album in 1962. While it didn't make a full-size effect, the album showcased Dylan's storytelling and songwriting competencies. Songs like Song to Woody pondered the affect of Woody Guthrie, whom Dylan regarded as both an idol and a mentor. However, only 12 months later, Dylan made his leap forward with the freewheeling Bob Dylan, the album that cemented his vicinity as a critical voice in the folk's tune motion. Tracks consisting of Blowin' in the Wind have become anthems of the civil rights movement, with easy yet profound lyrics that resonated deeply with an entire era. Meanwhile, A Tough Rain's Agon of Fall emerged as a musical epic mixing track and poetry to mirror the turbulent reality of American society. In 1965, Dylan took an ambitious jump into electric rock with the album Bringing All of It Lower Back Home. This shift caused instant shockwaves dividing his fanbase. The controversy peaked at the 1965 Newport Folk Festival, wherein Dylan carried out with an electric band. The sound of the electric guitar not best shook the stage, however, additionally disrupted the ideals of thousands in the target market. Buying angry faces and accusations of betrayal stuffed the air. Yet, Dylan remained steadfast, persevering with his progressive trajectory with iconic works like a Rolling Stone and the album Highway 61 Revisited. The 6-minute-long Like a Rolling Stone broke every rule within the music industry at the time, becoming a symbol of private and innovative liberation. Following Highway 61 Revisited, Dylan shocked the world once more with Blonde on Blonde 1966, one of the first double albums in rock history. With its rich range of sound and depth of lyrics, the album exemplified Dylan's boundless creativity. In the years that accompanied, he faced colossal strain from the public and critics alike. One anecdote recounts Dylan dropping his favorite jacket before a display, reportedly driving him to a frenzy, an indication of his perfectionism, now not simplest in track, however, additionally in his private photograph. Having solidified his position in rock song, Dylan endured to explore new paths. In 1969, he launched Nashville Skyline, blending United States of America and rock with a softer, smoother tone. By the past due 70s, Dylan experimented with gospel tune in Slow Train Coming, 1979, a piece reflecting his profound religious faith. In the 1980s, as international tune trends shifted with the emergence of recent genres, Dylan adapted another time with Infidels, 1983, combining rock, reggae, and current elements, proving his unrelenting evolution notwithstanding skepticism. In 1989, Dylan reaffirmed his undying expertise with Oh Mercy, a contemplative album that reflected his adulthood after a long time of profession and personal ups and downs. Dylan not best maintained his stature, however, demonstrated top-notch adaptability all through his adventure, from his beginnings in folk song through the explosive upward push of rock to his continual experimentation over the decades. Bob Dylan crafted a legacy not just of music, however, of reinvention and self-assignment. Dylan constantly pushed boundaries and never shied far away from criticism, generating works that transcended time. He had become greater than a musician. He became a symbol of an era, reworking how the sector perceives music. Dylan's profession is a resounding testament to the concept that actual creativity knows no limits. At the present time, his song maintains to resonate, serving as a limitless source of proposal for generations to come back. Bob Dylan, a musical icon of the 23rd century, is widely known now, not most effective for his songwriting and performance genius, however, additionally for a deeply emotional and complicated personal life. His relationships, marriages, or even heartbreaks fashioned him as a person and served as limitless inspiration for his musical masterpieces. In the early years of his career, Dylan experienced a profound romance with Suze Rotolo, a female who had a substantial impact on his early life.